Now we are going to model the hook, which is going to be the attachment for the load on the boom. So we'll be modeling the hook and we'll be sketching the profile first. So let us sketch on the mid plane. Before that, let us make a component, new component, hook, activate it and turn on the origin, and let us sketch on this origin because it is again going to be centered and the boom is centered with respect to that plane. So let us sketch over here. First, let us make a straight line. Just remove this constraint, make sure it's vertical, and just dimension this line from a reference point. Say this is a reference point, that is the pin location. Let us keep it at a distance of 1140. So the modeling technique which we will be using for designing the hook is to basically make a path or sweep path for the hook, which will be the base profile of the hook, and use that to sweep various sections across that path. So that is what we are going to follow. So first we are going to make that path by making the skeleton profile of the hook. Let us make an arc, center point arc over here somewhere. Let us just make it like this. So basically what I did is go to sketch, go to arc, go to center point arc, select the center point, select one starting point of the arc, select the end point of the arc. Again, I'm going to make one more arc. Going to select these 2 points and I'm going to make an arc. Again, go to 3-point arc, select the start point, select the end point, select the third point and place the third point. Next thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to make this arc tangent to this. So select the arc and this line, go to tangent, constraint, select it. Again, select this arc and this arc and make it tangent. Okay, before that, let's undo that. Before that, I'm going to give this a radius of 50. And let us position this with respect to the bottom edge of the boom. Let us keep it at a distance of 120. And let us position this point with respect to this line. Let's give it a distance of 9 mm. Now we can see that this arc has become constraint. It is black. So you can just use this and this tangency. Select both these arcs and make a tangent constraint. Okay, just bring this point down or just dimension this as 50. That will automatically bring that point down. Now I need one more arc over here. So I'm going to go to sketch, going to go to arc, 3-point arc, going to make another arc. Again, let's just dimension it to be 50 and make it tangential to the arc. So now we have made another arc. Just reduce the length of this arc because we don't want it to extend that much. This is going to be the end of the hook, as you can imagine. Now to constrain this point and this point, I need to constrain to basically make sure how much of the length of the circular portion of the hook am I going to have. For that, I will make 2 lines, one connecting this point to this point So basically this point is the end point of the arc. Similarly, I'm going to select this point and this point. These two are the lines which I'll be using to control the circular portion of the arc of the hook. So by defining the angle, I can control that. So it is 179.85. Let us give it an angle of 160. The proportions of this design don't look like they would be fitting in this design of our floor crane. So let us just make this much smaller. Let us make it half, 55 divided by 2. Let us improve this angle by 200, make it 200. And let us just, okay, before doing that, before making it 200, let us give this radius as 50. Make this as 200. Now it looks a bit more like how we would like it to be. Just reduce this to 100 and bring this arc in. We don't want that to extend that much, and let it be at this point. Stop sketch. Before that, we'll convert all the other elements into construction elements. Yeah. Next step would be to make the planes along the path which has been made from this sketch. So we will go ahead and do that. Before that, let us just simplify this by converting this straight segment of the line into a construction element, so that we can use this endpoint for creating the plane. Go to stop sketch. Okay, now we have only the curved portion and we can use that for creating the planes. So go to construct, go to plane along path. This is the option which you can use for creating a plane perpendicular to a path at a certain point. So select this plane along path and select this path. It's going to ask where do you want the point to lie. So here it is in terms of proportion. It is 0.03 proportion of the total length of the curve. I want it to be at 0. That means at the very start. At the very start, press OK. This is one plane. Similarly, I'll create another plane like this. And in this case, I want it to be at half the length of the curve. Again, press OK. Again, I'll create another plane along path. This time I want it to be at the end, that is at 1, proportion 1, and press OK. So now these three are the planes in which I'll be sketching, and then I'll be joining all these sections into one single sweep. That's the idea for creating the hook. First, let us sketch on this plane right here. Let us sketch over here. Go to create sketch on this plane. Just hide the boom so that it will be easier to visualize. You can visualize the sketch by just rotating. You can see. Again, look at sketch. And now I'll be making a centered rectangle. Centered rectangle at this point. I'll make the length as 24, the width as 20, and I'll make fillets at all these corners. I'll keep it at 6. Stop sketch. So this is one sketch completed. Now go on to the next plane First we'll do the end plane on the other side. Go to create sketch, end plane. Again just rotate for better visualization. You can see this is the center point. Again look at, go to circle. I'm going to make a circle of say 7 mm. Stop sketch. So now we are having two profiles. Now I'll be sketching on the mid plane. Now the section of the mid plane, we will be making it into a asymmetric section. We will make the inner side as slightly less thick compared to the outer side. So let's see how to do that. Go into create sketch. Now let us just hide the other sketches, so it will be easier to manage. So this is the inner direction, this is the outer direction. We will make a line first, and we'll make sure this line is coincident with this point. Let's make this line length as 8 mm. Okay, let's just zoom in, bring it with center with respect to the point, and give it a distance. These 2 points right here, give it a distance of 3. Let us just zoom it a bit more. Next we will make 2 arcs. Go to arc, go to center point arc, select this as the center point, make an arc, give this as the 10 dimension. This is the outer part, and this, go to arc again, go to arc, go to center point arc, again select this point, make an arc, give this arc as a dimension 8. Now we'll connect this point to this point and this point to this point and make it tangent. So go to line, select this point to this point, this point to this point, make this line tangent to this, select the tangency constraint under constraints, make this line tangent to this. Again similar for the smaller arc. So now all the geometry has been constrained. Come out of the sketch and just turn on the other sketches. Now you can see how the 3 sketches have been positioned. The next step is to use the loft command to make the solid. Go to loft and select the 3 profiles one by one. First this one, profile 1, profile 2 and profile 3. As you can see, this doesn't look like what we require. What we need to do is we need to make the guide rail. We need to select the guide rail as this sketch, the skeleton sketch of the hook. So in guide type, select center line, and in center line select this one. Now you will see the model has been changed and it now looks like what we would be needing it to be. Press OK. That completes the design of the hook, and what is remaining is to extend this and connect it with the boom to basically weld it. So to extend this solid beyond the boom and let it go through and through such that it can be welded, we can just use the extrude command, select this profile and drag it upwards. Drag it upwards, say a distance of 145. That should complete the hook design. Just activate the top component to have a look. So this is the design of the hook.